Have you ever wished you could just ask the question and get the right report pulled from your database without waiting on IT, SQL experts, or a week-long email thread? Well, let me show you how that becomes possible. Hi, this is Autosolve, and I'm on the mission to find ultimate automation that would support accounting, finance, or tax compliance departments. I've been working at the intersection of accounting, finance, software development, and data analytics, where I've been building automations for over 10 years. In the past, I've seen how time consuming, manual, and sometimes confusing it can be for finance teams to turn a business requirement into an actual meaningful report, especially when it involves navigating complex databases, writing complex SQL statements, and ensuring the output is meaningful enough. Today, I'm excited to introduce you to something I've come up with that might work for your situation. Now, to kick this off, allow me to do a quick demo. So here is the Google Colab environment that I've set up with some tax database and transactional database in order to simulate an accountancy environment. Then we're doing some setup, logging into Hugging Face in order to download the appropriate AI model that we'll be using. Then we're doing some further setup. And here we're building network of our agents from scratch. We're not using any frameworks for that. We're just using raw Python. So we have requirements agent that picks the requirement from the user. Then it transfers it to SQL agent, which converts the requirement into SQL statement, runs the query against the database, and returns the output, which is the results table. And then the summary agent uses the specific prompt here where it takes the original requirement that we provided, looks at the data provided from the SQL agent, and makes a comment in terms of a summary based on the original requirement from the user. Now, this is an example of the chain. So here was the requirement that we've provided to the, as a user. Then our requirements agent outlines these steps, and SQL agent picks up the trace and converts everything into a SQL statement, which it will then execute. Upon execution, we have this table that's been returned by the SQL agent, and the summary agent finally summarizes everything along with the requirement, the data provided by the SQL agent, and the final report that makes the comment and the summary of everything that's been queried and requested. So let's go back to the slides. There's a couple of points that I wanted to bring across. So we're using the locally set up large language model, AI model from Hugging Face. We're not using any of the ChatGPT endpoints. We're not sharing our data with any of those API endpoints. We're running everything on our machine or virtual machine. And for that, we need a GPU, which is available within Google Colab. So my data virtual VRAM imprint was around 17 gigabytes. So you would need a really powerful GPU for this. We're not using any of the frameworks to chain these agents into a network. We're just doing everything ourselves. And yes, we are setting up a temporary transactional database in order to simulate the accounting environment. How does it work? So the way it works is we providing the requirement in the form of a text. We're feeding it to the requirements agent. It picks it up, interprets it, passes it to reporting agent. Right, this is our second agent, from requirements agent to reporting agent. The reporting agent produces SQL statement and runs it against the database, thereby providing a data output. And then the summary agent picks everything up. It pieces our original requirement. It pieces the reports in agent output provided from the database, and it makes comments as we've required within our original requirements that we've fed into the first agent. So yes, just going back to our setup here. So here we are going to do a quick walkthrough. So here we're obviously using SQLite. We're setting it up locally, creating our first product tax table. We're populating it with this list of random product categories and tax rates. Here we're executing the statement that actually does the population of this list into our product tax table. Then we're creating our second table of transactions with customer name, product type, amounts, and transaction date. Here we're doing some prep work for our next step. We're going to create some 20 random transactions. Here we're doing this with this for loop. And then we're populating this into our transactions table. Then we have our tables created message. Then we're doing some basic Python setup. Here we're logging into Hugging Face Hub because we do need to download the model, the AI model. We're not using ChatGPT, Grok, or Claude. We're using our credentials for that. Then we're downloading this Mistral model. You can use any other model you desire. This is a 7 billion pre-trained and fine-tuned model. We are setting it up here as a function with a prompt and maximum limit on tokens. And here we are configuring our network. So the first network of agents, the first agent will be requirement agent, which will take the requirement and it would convert it into a set of steps. Then it will be fed to SQL agent, which will convert the requirement into the SQL statement, runs it against a database, and provides the resulting data table. Then we're moving on to summary agent, which picks up everything. It pieces our original requirement. It takes the data that we've just produced, and it makes comments and provides a summary on this. And that is the resulting window. Now, potentially it might not work. It did work from the third or fourth attempt, but it does work eventually. So obviously I will be working on doing some tweaks to this and improvements, but overall it does provide exactly what I was trying to get it to do. Let's come back to our slides. So for the final set of slides, just wanted to bring across a couple of points here. So how is this relevant to accounting, finance, and taxation compliance departments? Because the point of this is obviously to provide some way of automating tasks for these departments. So first of all, there's no need for technical knowledge of databases and complex relationship between the tables. You just state your requirement in the way of words, sentences, and you tell what you want to see, whether it's tax summary or customer summary or whatever. And you don't have to know how what are the names of the databases, what are the names of the tables, how are they interrelated. Then second point, you don't need to know the SQL language in order to write a statement that would work correctly. That is all being done for you by the AI. And simple point here is non-technical executives that just want to get their reporting done. They can easily interact with this without any issues if it's working correctly. So that brings it to the end. Let me know if you find this useful or if you have any comments or questions. Thank you so much for your attention, and until next time, thank you so much.